My name, if you don't know me, is Nick Bradley. I'm the Managing Director of Reed Learning. I do see some familiar faces out there today, but I look forward to meeting all of you who I do not know throughout the course of this morning. This breakfast briefing, if you like, is something that we used to do at Reed Learning a while back. We haven't done it for a while. And it was something that when I joined the business around about 14 months ago was something I was very keen to bring back. But I wanted to bring it back with a bit more context to it and a bit more information about how, I suppose, the world of people development, HR, learning is changing and evolving, so that we could actually get quite a richness out of these conversations and also the networking. But more importantly, to sort of talk around how there's so much disruption and so much change which is affecting our industry and obviously the people that we deal with in the workplace on a day-to-day basis. So I just want to move slightly into, I suppose, more the people development, HR learning space, and just talk about some trends that we have researched recently. And some of these will be very, I think, familiar to you, others maybe less so. But you can start to see there's some clear things coming through, which I'll summarize at the end. But obviously technology is coming in and making a massive difference. How many people here have invested in a LMS and realized that it probably wasn't what they should have invested in? Okay, there's more hands going up than all this goes on. Interesting, but it's, everyone did this because, let's buy it. It's going to change how we do things, isn't it? It's going to make life easier. It's going to make everything sort of, more measurable, all that. But things have changed so quickly now that locking yourself into one of those things may not be the best thing, yeah? We have a partner here today, Fuse Universal, who's tackling that head on. So if you want to talk about disruption and things like that, they're coming in and taking on some of the LMSs, if you like, of old, with a very different way of doing things. Data is a critical thing, and this is where Laura will go into more detail. And I personally think the shift that needs to happen from a learning perspective is how well we as professionals in that space control and really understand the utilization of data. And we'll apply that back into what I mean around impact in a second, but if you can sit there and say that, this learning or this activity happened, but it made a difference, it made a change, and I can prove that, and that metric is either at the bottom line, if that's important, or it may be something else in terms of how that person's behavior has changed, or that team, or that cohort, then all of a sudden, the investment in learning is not just a cost. It's a strategic driver of business change. Social networks are changing everything, that should say. Yeah? How many people use YouTube at the moment to, fix a faucet or something like that when their plumbing goes wrong? Yeah. How many of your employees at the moment are going and doing their own learning anyway? Yeah. How many of you actually know that that's happening? You know it's happening because you can feel it happening, but do you actually know what they're doing? Yeah. So the idea of peer-to-peer networks, the idea of controlled learning, if you want to call it that, means that this shift from control to curation is a huge, huge thing. So I say the really, really effective L&D organizations within companies, and again, Laura will touch on this, are the ones who understand that fully, can curate the learning, be involved in it, be actively involved in helping facilitate, but more importantly at the back end, measure it. Measure the interactions, measure the things that are going on, and then turn that back into however you are trying to sort of look at impact. Yeah, that's quite a big difference from this idea that, I have the budget, you have the budget, I will make you do this, you do that. That's not how things are these days. And I say that some of you obviously are already there, but a lot of companies that we speak to, and certainly for our research, are not there yet. And you see that struggle and that disconnect between the business and the learning function.